More low-risk, high-reward Betfair football trades explained step by step. And in this video, I'm going to explain how this profit you can see on the screen was produced with a total risk of just £20. That's right, £20 went into the market and a profit of $7.99 was made to take home. And I'm going to explain exactly how I did it, my thinking behind every step from entry point to exit point. Sounds good? Let's get into it. So let's get into the trade here. I just want to quickly say though that at the time of recording this video, this trade was done many months before that. So my memory is a little bit hazy on it. And obviously I do hope that for future trades and when I do future videos like this, I'm going to record the video straight away so I can give you all the details straight from my memory. But what you can see now on the screen, this screenshot shows you my entry point into the trade. All right. It was laying Sassuolo with £1,000 for a risk of just £20. Now, this screenshot tells a lot of the story. Okay, can tell you, we can see it's 87 minutes into the match where I've just entered the market. All right, 3 minutes of normal time left. Sassuolo a 3-1 up, and they just had a red card, and you can see it's been a bit of a goal crazy second half. All right, so yeah, I mean already you're probably thinking, why on earth did you really think this is gonna be ending up 3-3 or whatever? Well, I'm going to get into that in just a moment, but here's the risk as well, just to quickly stress that it is a £20 risk. That is the total risk that goes into the market, okay? And then I've got profit potential of £1,000 on Fiorentina or on the draw, all right? So I remember how this match developed. Was I remember it being a Sunday, like a Sunday afternoon, and I had some pre-match research notes on this particular match, all right? And from what I could remember, I had it noted that I was expecting Fiorentina to win this for whatever reason, okay? But I was following the match. The match was just on flash scores. I was just following it to see what developed. Nothing much developed by half time. It was 0-0. And so I didn't really see many opportunities to even get involved in this match at that particular point. I was more focused on another match that was happening. But then at some point in the second half, yeah, as you can see, it went goal crazy. And then it got to like around 80 minutes and Sassuolo were leading 3-1. So keep in mind, it's a bit of a busy Sunday. So I'm following a match live at that moment, and there's other matches going on as well. But I just thought that something's not right. I mean, I've got this down as a Fiorentina win. It was very dull for a long period, and then suddenly you've had 4 goals out of nowhere. So it kind of got my spidey senses tingling to just go and have a look and see what is going on in this particular match. All right. So when I pulled up the stream around 80 minutes, I could see Fiorentina really pressing hard at that particular point. Even though Sassuolo were winning 3-1, they kind of looked like they were hanging on to try and prevent Fiorentina, or at least pulling it back to make it 3-2. But of course, at this particular point, it's so late now. It's like 81, 82 minutes, and as I'm sure you were thinking at the start of this video, can I really foresee 2 goals being scored by Fiorentina at this late stage? And I was trying to weigh up whether this was any sort of good value entry point or not, and I was leaning on just not getting involved because I hadn't really seen much of the match leading up to it, so wasn't too sure what was going on. And the fact it was a busy Sunday, there was other potential trades that I should really have been paying more attention to. So I was leaning on not getting involved at all, and then it was a red card to Sassuolo. And what made me suddenly think about actually getting involved was that the price didn't move, as in Sassuolo were 1.01 and 1.02 before the red card, and then when the markets reopened, they were the same price, which to me, I started to think, well, that's not totally right. I mean, they're going to be down to 10 men for the final few minutes plus whatever time is going to be added on. So that's when I suddenly thought, do you know what, there could be an opportunity here. And as you know, I'm in this to trade football. I'm not here to just have a long shot bet on its own. So I do know that if Fiorentina can at least get a goal back, this should move the odds high enough for me to maybe lock in an instant profit just there if I want, and then maybe I can race the rest of the profit. But who knows? But as it stood in that 10 minutes leading up to the red card, Fiorentina were by far the better team, and now suddenly they've got an extra man. So I feel like there's a pretty good chance they're at least going to make it 3-2. And I mean, one of the things that you can keep in mind as well is, I mean, look at the upside. It's a £20 risk and it's £1,000 profit potential. Okay, it's not like I'm putting in £20 to try and win £20. All right, so you have to keep all those sorts of calculations in your mind as well. So I got in the market. As you can see. In the end, I just thought, you know what, this is something's not quite right here, and there could be a bit of a blockbuster finish to this particular match. Now, as soon as I got in the market, Fiorentina did score, which is a nice relief. I'm sure if you've experienced trading football, sometimes you get in the market anticipating a goal, then all of a sudden, where's that goal? Oh no, it's not going to come. So that was nice. That as soon as I got in the market, Fiorentina did score, because then that created the pure carnage, which then followed. And again, my thoughts were the red card is a bit of a big wild card in this situation, because a lot of teams, when they get a red card, they go down to 10 men in the final few minutes. There can be a bit of disorganization going on. They can be a bit shell-shocked. And it's like, well, hold on, who's going to take his position? I mean, what's going to happen here? Who's going to be marking who at corners? All that sort of stuff. And so let's move on to see what happened next. So anyway, what happened was, I remember I was watching the match as this was unfolding. You can see here it's like 88 minutes. And I thought to tweet it because I thought maybe let me try and alert my followers on Twitter that I think there's a bit of a blockbuster finish coming up in this match. It is carnage. You got Sassuolo down to 10 men, and by this point, it really looked like they had chaos at the back, and there was big gaps at the back every time Fiorentina were going forward. It was like no one on the Sassuolo team thought, you know what, we're down to 10 men. We've got a 1-goal lead now, so let's try and just park the bus and just try and see this game out. But I don't know what was going on. It seemed like their strikers wanted to try and make it 4-2. It really was baffling. So at this particular point, I could have cashed out for £115, which is a very, very nice return on a £20 risk, all right? But initially what I did was, because Fiorentina just had so much momentum, I took a little bit of the risk. Well, I took all of the risk out of the trade at this point, because Sassuolo's price shot up to 1.17. So it was already a nice trade from 1.02 to 1.17. But I just thought, you know what, let me just let this ride for a little bit, because Sassuolo just really don't seem like they're going to make it to the end of this match without letting in another goal. And again, I've got the live pictures there, so I can see this happening in front of me, a complete meltdown. And so this is the situation, and hopefully by now you've seen the video that I've put up on trying to maximize your profits, all right? Now, I could just lock in £115 and exit, all right? But I've now got £850 of profit potential to play with, and 1 goal for Fiorentina now to level it at 3-3 is going to mean I'm going to lock in the vast majority of that profit potential. So I have to assess everything. You have to look at what is happening on the pitch, look at the live pictures, and then decide, I mean, do I just take that 115, or do I feel that Fiorentina could carve out one more big chance? All right, could they do that? And now I can't remember how much time was added on, but I do remember that played in to my decision as well, because I have a feeling it was about 5 or 6 minutes that was added on at the end of that match. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. Don't. I know some people are. They'll go and pull it up precisely, then they'll leave a comment and tell me I'm wrong. But as I said, my memory is a bit hazy, but I'm sure there was a decent amount of time added on, which made me again think, you know what, the way Fiorentina are constantly attacking, I can see them probably getting the equaliser. So it was one of those decisions where I just thought, do you know what, this is one of those chances to try and maximize my profits and just let it run. Now, obviously, if it remains 3-2 or Sassuolo score another one or whatever, I was only going to make £4, all right? But I'm prepared to live with those decisions, right? So in the end, I did let it run. And, of course, the equaliser did arrive. It was a 5-minute spell that escalated pretty quickly, to say the least. And so what you can see was the equaliser arrived, I think, in 90.5. So, yeah, I guess there was about 6 minutes of injury time. And that is something I always say as well. If I'm going for a late goal and I see there's more than 5 minutes of injury time, then I'm much more likely to hang around and maybe chase that late goal. If it's 3 minutes, which is quite common, then those are the times where I just kind of call it a day and don't chase the late goal as much. So there's another extra tip for you. But, yeah, as you can see, what happened here was that it went to 3-3, and I instantly just tried to equalize the profit as much as I could to secure it. I think one of the reasons as well was that there was VAR in play in this Italian match, and it was those days when I wasn't totally sure whether if a goal gets ruled out by VAR, am I going to get the profit? Am I not going to get the profit? Who knows? So again, I just quickly secured the profit as quickly as I could to make sure. And I do think, well, from what I can remember, I'm pretty sure the final whistle went pretty much straight away after this screenshot was taken anyway. But with Fiorentina, with so much ascendancy, I mean, if there was an extra minute, I'm probably back in Fiorentina around this price of 85. Not with a lot, but, you know, an extra 20 on odds of 85 to 1 or something like that would have been a very nice jackpot win should Fiorentina have gone on to get the winner. And I do believe if there was an extra minute, an extra 2 minutes, the way that match developed, there was only going to be one winner. All right, so it was a £20 risk, and it was close to like what, a 4,000%, 4,000% return on your investment from the £20 risk. And obviously, as you know, I'm trying to maximize the profits that I can potentially take from this trade, which is why I ignored the earlier £100. If you did miss that video on maximizing your profits, hopefully, do you know what? I'm going to leave a link to it in the description, so you can definitely check that out as well. But, I mean, if we look at the numbers, I mean, for me to approach this sort of trade and be long-term profitable at it, then that means I've got to get it right once every 40 times. And, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I've been trading football a long, long time, but I don't think I've ever laid a team 2 goals up with 3 minutes left. I don't think I've ever done it before. I don't know if I'll ever do it again, to be honest. But at least I know that, you know what, if I'm going to do this, then am I going to get this right every 40 times, okay? Then that's something to keep in mind, all right? So, I mean, I remember when I did this trade, I had a lot of people ask me if I was watching this match like all the way from minute 0. Again, you know, there's another little tip for you is that, like I said, I was not watching the match. It was only because I was keeping track of it on Flash Scores. I had my pre-match research, so I had an idea of how I was expecting the match to play out. And then when it didn't play out how I was expecting it, it was the strangeness of the scoreline which made me go on and investigate more. And then it was just bringing up the live pictures, seeing what was happening, and seeing that, you know, Fiorentina were absolutely ripping Sassuolo up, despite it being a 3-1 to them. So again, that's another good tip, is that, you know, you do your research on a match. You don't have to watch it, but follow the scoreline, see how it's developing, and then if it gets to the late stages and something doesn't quite seem right, maybe your research suggested that the favorite is going to win, but they're losing, then you can investigate more, and then you can use the live pictures to decide on your trading entry point at that particular point in the match. You don't have to watch these matches from minute 0 to minute 90 +6 in order to find these opportunities, because obviously that is it's very, very time consuming, and there could be a lot of matches you watch from minute 0 to 90 +6 where literally nothing happens. But hopefully that explains that as well. And so something to keep in mind when I do these videos, I'm not doing this to kind of show off or say how, you know, look at me, how great am I? Not at all. I do these videos, number one, because you guys request it. Number two, because I actually then enjoy it. And number three, because I do actually feel that there is a lot to learn from this. Now, I can't spoon feed everyone and give away all the secrets on YouTube. I'm definitely not going to do that. But if you're smart, if you're someone who's smart, is watching this video, then yeah, you could rewatch this and you could definitely learn a few things, all right? But here are just some key points that you can take from this video. And normal gets normal. Now, a normal, regular trader is probably looking at that trade, that entry point at 87 minutes, and they're like, nope, not getting involved in that, all right? And now a lot of people see me do trades like this. They call me crazy, silly, or lucky. But at the end of the day, if you want crazy results, you kind of have to do crazy things. And in football trading, the norm is to not actually be profitable at all. So you want to try and avoid being normal as much as possible. I know I would anyway, all right? Another key point to keep in mind is that this sort of trade is an extreme long shot. As we established, I've probably got to expect that this is probably going to come in at least once every 40 times. To at least be profitable, right? So if I can get it right at least once every 40 times or more, then I'm going to be profitable with this sort of trade. But at the same time, I have to expect that I could lose 10 in a row. I could lose 20 in a row, 30 in a row, 39 in a row, okay? And the average trader, the average punter could never, ever handle a losing streak like that. Now, for me, I can definitely handle those low risk, high rewards style losing streaks, laying at 1.02, because I'm expecting these trades. I go into these trades, and especially the trade in the example here, I go into them expecting not to win. I don't go in picturing the money straight away. I'm just going in because I think there is a bit of value in the opportunity, but I know the majority of the time it's not going to come off, and then my money is going to be lost in the market. But I can handle that. I can handle that mentally. I can handle it 10 times in a row, 20 times in a row, 30 times in a row, because I mean, firstly, I have faith in my own match reading, but secondly, I know I'm not going to give up. And most normal people, to be honest, 2 times in a row, 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row at a stretch before they just give up on it and then they want to try something else. All right, so you got to keep it in mind, it is an extreme long shot. You want to go for trades like this, you got to be able to handle 10 in a row at least, right? And can you handle that? Ask yourself honestly, maybe even leave me a comment and tell me how many losses in a row you think you can mentally handle before you just give up on it. All right. Another key point to take from this as well is that you cannot plan for these trades as well. So if you think about it, I mean, I had my research done on this match, on this Italian match, and I had other trades in mind for certain scenarios, but I definitely did not plan to trade that match, saying, you know what, I'm going to wait until the 87th minute and I'm going to lay Sassuolo when they're 3-1 up. I definitely did not plan for that. It was very, very dynamic, and I just reacted to the events of the moment. And again, this is something that is a big difference between having a bet and having a trade. As a football trader, you're very, very likely to be reacting to events that develop in play, where a lot of people who come from just a regular betting background, they just do their research and then they pretty much plan to get involved in the market no matter what is happening. For some reason, they just say, do you know what, this is my plan, I'm going to get in at 30 minutes, I'm going to do this, and then they stick to it no matter what, despite, you know, without paying attention to what is actually developing during the match. So yeah, football trading is a lot about being dynamic and being flexible and then being able to react to events and opportunities that can develop in play. The final one is that watching the match live was key. And again, I'm not saying that I watched it from minute 0. You heard what I said in the video. I pretty much joined the match around the 80th minute mark. So I was following the match on the live scores website, and then 80 minutes in, I just thought, you know what, let's bring up these live pictures. Let's see what is going on in this match. Now, if I turned on that match and Sassuolo 3-1 up, they look like they're in full control of the match, then there's probably not an opportunity, right? But it was only when I turned on the match and I saw Fiorentina really, really pressing hard that I realized there could be a bit of an opportunity. But how else am I going to get that information? You tell me, how else can I possibly get that information without watching the match? Maybe I've got a friend who's watching the match who tells me, but that is it. It's pretty much it. The statistics, the in-game statistics, they're not going to tell you what is happening in that final 10 minutes. They might tell you what's happened over the previous whole match, where I think at that point Sassuolo were the better team. So again, it's very hard to find that opportunity without bringing up those live pictures. And I stress this a lot. If you want to find the very best football trading opportunities, finding those live pictures is the way forward. But anyway, that was the trade from my perspective. I would love to hear your perspective. Let me know. Do you think it was a good trade? Or you think I just got lucky? Definitely leave me a comment and let me know. And also, when you're leaving a comment, I would love to know what videos you want to see on the Sports Trading Live channel. So if you like football trading or trading any other sports, definitely leave me a comment and let me know what videos you want to see in future. So I know what to produce, right? A lot of people requested this sort of video. So if you want to see more like these, then let me know in the comments section. I read all the comments and I'll be checking these later on to see exactly what videos you want to see, okay? So make sure you definitely do that. And if you haven't done this already, then I don't know what you're waiting for. Definitely download this. This is absolutely free. It's the 7 Steps to Football Trading Success. It's a free ebook. Okay, so you just click the link that's in the description of this video. I'm going to leave it in the comments section as well. You just follow the link, put in your email address, and it will be emailed straight to you. It's the 7 steps that you can follow to football trading success. So if you want to start taking your football trading more seriously and you want to move in the right direction with it, then you definitely need this, right? So click the link that's in the description and grab your copy of that. And if you're new to this channel, then hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you get all the videos as soon as they come out. And on the screen right now, you're going to see a couple of really, really good sports trading related videos. Definitely check those out, and I will see you in the next video.